Okay, so now you should have all your buttons created in your navigation and now optimized. You should see the transparent green slice on each one of them. So now that you've done that, you're ready for the next part of optimization, which means we're going to take these images here that we've created. We're either going to hand slice them or we're going to let the program slice them for us. And then we're going to use this tool up here, this optimize panel, and these tools up here, the 2-up and 4-up option, to make our image is a smaller file size, but at least with the best quality possible to load fastest on the web. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab these 3 images here. And the cool thing about slicing up images in Fireworks is we can let the program do most of it for us. So I'm going to go ahead and select this big image right here. I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard and select these 3 small ones down below: the car, this ticket information, this race car driver. And you'll notice they're all highlighted because I held down the Shift key while selecting them. With that being done, I'm going to hold down my Control button, click with the mouse, and come down to Insert Rectangular Slice. Since I'm working with boxes and squares for images, this is what I want to select. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And what's going to happen is Fireworks is going to say, hey, wait a second, you selected multiple items. Do you want to create one slice or multiple slices? If we create one slice, it's going to create one big slice for all these. We want to select multiple slices so each one of these images has its own unique slice that we can optimize. So I'm going to go ahead and select a multiple. And when I've done that, look what happened. I have this big image here that's sliced with a green transparency, much like my buttons, and these 3 images here. So what I can do now is I can optimize my images. I'm going to go ahead and select this car image down here. By default, Fireworks is always going to make everything a GIF or a GIF file. It has the same elements that our buttons had. But the thing here is I'm working with a photograph. I'm not quite sure if I want to keep it at a GIF. I might lose some quality here that's very important in the design. Especially with DSL modems nowadays, we can have a higher quality image on the web and it will load fast. But the goal is still to load something as fast as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and select my 4-up option. And I'm going to show you how this works. What this allows us to do, whoops, let me slide this back over. It gives us 4 preview options of our image. It gives us the original, which is the GIF at 256 colors. And it gives us other ones. I can select the image here. If I select in this box right here, I can change the image from a GIF to a JPEG. And look what happens when I do that. This is now a JPEG, 80% quality. According to this, on a 56K modem, which no one uses anymore, I hope, it will take 26 seconds to load. Oh, look at that. 13 seconds to load. It just changed. It was doing the math right now. So if I draw this box over here, here's the original, right here. If I come down here at the bottom, I can click here on this box, on this image, and I can change the quality to something else. Maybe I'll try a PNG 8. These are new images, these portable network graphic images that work pretty well on the web, and we can see here, whoops, PNG 8. There we go. There we go. This one's going to take 19 seconds to load, opposed to this JPEG right here that takes 13 seconds to load. So the PNG is obviously a higher quality image, but if you look at the image itself, it looks a little more grainy. It doesn't look as nice as the JPEG. Interesting enough, JPEGs are made specifically for photographs for the web, so they're meant to hold a higher quality, but yet load fast on the web. And then again, I can come down here to this bottom right one, select, and change it to maybe a TIFF. So it's a TIFF, and again, look at the quality. It's a little bit less than the PNG, but again, the JPEG's the better quality image. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick with this JPEG, even though it's going to take 13 seconds to load on a 56K modem. That's dial-up, and we're not using dial-up anymore. We're designing for DSL. So this is probably going to take me 1 or 2 seconds to load, which is plenty good enough for an image that size on this website. Remember, this image is taking up the majority of my web page. So for that to load that fast, that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Once I've decided that, I'm going to come back over here to my original, hit here, and now I'm in edit mode again. So this image is now edited. Next, I'm going to come down to my little car and do the same thing again. 4-up, it's going to give me a little preview. and I'm going to go through the whole process again. So what you want to do with each one of your images is go through and edit it much the same way. If you want, you also can just edit here by clicking if you know what you're looking for. So maybe this is an image. I like the quality of how this works. I want this to be similar. I can just change it there, and again click here and click the drop down menu and select here as well. So there's a couple different ways of doing it, but remember the 4-up and the 2-up are the best way of checking file size. Again, Fireworks is giving us a rough estimate of how it would work. It's not perfectly accurate, but it's pretty darn close. So again, it's having us work on dial-up modems. So if you're seeing something that takes 13 to 20 seconds to load, it's going to take 1 or 2, 3 seconds most on a DSL modem. 1 or 2 is what we're shooting for. If you can get it less than that, that would be perfect as far as optimizing your website. So with that done, get your images optimized and you'll be set to go. Now the next thing we need to do is, with my design, one thing that's a big no-no when it comes to slicing up images is you can't have 2 transparency slices on top of each other. So if you look at my header here, I can't just select this header and do what I did before. If I made this a rectangular square, see what happens? I have this big slice, but then I have these slices right here on top of it. Fireworks does not know what to do with that. It confuses it. So I'm going to hit Apple Z here, go back, and what I'm going to have to do is manually slice this image. So I'm going to come over here to my web tools. My first option here is my slice tool. I'm going to click it, and I'm just going to manually draw my slice right on top of this image like so. And you'll notice that there's these little red guides that come in as we've been doing things that are helping us with our slices. So I'm just going to fill in the blanks essentially. It's click and drag, click and drag. The program's going to help you do it, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you. But again, the rule of thumb is don't draw slices on top of each other. It confuses the program. The program does not know how to handle it, so everything has to be separate. So I'm almost done here. You can see it's fairly quick and simple. But we only draw slices on images. We don't draw them on anything else. Images that we want to optimize and make ready for the web. Our typography here, my header and my body copy, I am leaving that exactly the same, and you'll see why in the next demonstration when we are ready to export out into Dreamweaver. But now that I've done this, I have my website pretty much ready to go. The next thing that you will need to do is go to your pages, go to your next page, and you can see I have a page here called video because I have a video link, and I'm going to start slicing this one up. So you will do the same thing again. One thing that you can do, which I find is a big time saver, is I like to hold down my shift key and select the slices that are going to be exactly the same. So you know I have right now my header with my navigation. Whoops, let me put that back. I can simply oh, my mouse is being really tricky on me today. I got a new mouse here I'm working with, and it's very sensitive. Okay, so I can select all this area I sliced, hit Apple C, copy it, come to my page 2, hold down Control and paste, and it will paste it right in place. So I don't have to remake my buttons again. They're already there, all ready to go. I just will have to slice up this information. So again, since these are just the images, I can hold down Shift, select all these images, like so, hold down Control, click with my mouse button, insert rectangular slice. It is a multiple, and select multiple, and the program will automatically do it for me. Again, I will go through and optimize these afterwards, but this second page is ready to go. So go through each of your pages and do the same thing. Do not slice the text, and you should be set to go.